So another area that we want to talk about when you're building your greenfield SaaS and trying to be SOC 2 compliant from day one is get your documentation and policy game dialed in early. It's just such a pain when you get told, hey, we got to go get SOC 2 on this thing you've been building for the last 2 years. They're asking for a network diagram. They're asking for a data flow diagram. They're asking for threat models. And you're just like, what are all these things? I got to go write all these documents. You stop the flow of business to go do these. It's just like I tell my kids when they're cleaning their room. It sucks to spend all day Saturday cleaning your room. If you just clean up after yourself as you go, you don't have to waste your Saturday, right? So documentation often falls into that category. So first off, let's just talk about like two categories of documentation that I think is important for the software dev team to have a strong hand in when it comes to SOC 2 readiness. One is system architecture documentation. So network diagrams. I want to see data flow diagrams with network diagrams. I want to see network diagrams showing me security, capacity, scalability, and what are all the big rocks? Do you have a message bus? Do you have a database? Do you have a cache? Do you have a file storage? Are you using this cloud? Are you in multiple regions? Do you have VPCs that keep things isolated? This is an architectural thing that impacts security, scalability, reliability, privacy, and it's your software org that's building those things. They need to be documenting this as they go. Data flow diagrams are really great, and they're kind of like a network diagram, but if you take it abstractly and you look at a data flow diagram, it should really talk about the different classes of data, where they ingress into the system, where they're transmitted to within the system, where they're stored within the system, and where they egress from the system. And inside there, especially if you're talking about GDPR or like beyond SOC 2, it's what's processing them, right? And so I want to have classified data and show a red line of personal private data flowing through these things, and a green line of this is just public data from the weather service flowing through these lines, and show that we can store them differently, we can handle them differently, and that every use case of those sensitive pieces of data is traced through the system in a diagram of how it's being transmitted, stored, and processed.